If you are conducting an online Toastmasters speech contest using Zoom, you need to familiarize yourself with the breakout rooms. Breakout rooms allow you to create virtual rooms in your contest that closely mimics a real contest. You can create a breakout room for judges to do their briefing, contestants to do their briefing, an isolation room for table topic and evaluation contestants, a separate room for ballot counting by the chief judge and the tally counters, and a protest room in case there is any protest. Then the chief judge can bring the right people in the protest room and handle the situation. Now let's see how we can implement this kind of structure in Zoom. Let's get started. To understand breakout rooms, I have created this sample meeting with 8 participants. If I click on the Manage Participants, I can see the list of all the participants who are in this meeting. And what I would like to do is I would like to move some of these participants into a breakout room. To create breakout rooms, we have to use this option called Breakout Rooms. To start creating breakout rooms, click on the Breakout button at the bottom of your screen. You have two options to either automatically assign the participants into the breakout rooms or to manually do this. In a Toastmaster speech contest, it is preferable to use the manual option because you can then decide who will go into which room. I will click on the Create button, and this will open the breakout room management screen. I can create number of breakout rooms by clicking on the Add a Room button. And if I want to rename these breakout rooms, I simply click on the room and use the option Rename. Now, in a speech contest, ideally I would have a judge's briefing room, so I can just click and rename it. I would also need a briefing room for the contestants, and now depends on how you want to do the briefing. If you want to do your contestant briefing per contest, for example, international contestants are briefed in one room and the humorous in another room, then simply create that number of breakout rooms. I prefer to use a prefix such as INT for international, and let's say humorous, HUM. You can choose any convention you like. I'll add 2 more rooms, one for table topic and one for evaluation. So TT briefing room and one for evaluation. So let's call that eval. Additionally, you may want to create one room for ballot counting. So let's call that a tally counting room. And let's make it restricted access. There is no such thing as restricted access in Zoom, but by naming it, the co-host would know they are not supposed to enter this room without permission. And I like to create one more room for handling protests. So I just call it protest room. Again, there is no need to create all these rooms. You could, for example, repurpose the judge's briefing room and the protest room together. So in the initial stage, when the judges need to be briefed, they are briefed here, and later on, if there is a protest, they are again brought into the same room. I like to name them separately just to make the judges understand whenever I send them to the protest room that there is a protest going on, so they would then enter that room with the right mindset. So these are the 7 rooms that I like to create whenever I am moderating a contest. You can delete these rooms anytime you wish. For example, you don't want to have the protest room, you can just click delete and the room will be removed. Let me add it again because I need to have the protest room. Next, please make sure that click on the options button here and choose this option, allow participants to return to the main session at any time. And this is extremely important, especially for table topics and evaluations, because you don't want the participants to get stuck there and all coming into the main hall at one time. You want each participant to enter the hall based on their turn, based on their speaking order. So you need to have the flexibility to allow the participants to return to the main hall to deliver their evaluation or table topic as they are called by the contest chair. Our next step is to assign people into this room. Let's talk about the judges. To ensure that I can locate the judges quickly, especially when there is a contest with hundreds of people and it's a protest going on and the chief judge tells me, please send the judges into the protest room, it would be very difficult to scroll through all the names to find out where are the judges. So I prefer to work with the chief judge to come up with a naming convention, and I prefer to have a naming convention like J dash and then some code which the chief judge knows who is that person. So let's say on the day of the contest, the chief judge and all his judges enter the main hall and they want to be briefed. And as a moderator, I need to assign all of them into the judges briefing room, which is my first room here. To assign these people to the judges briefing room, I can click on the assign button and I can find out who are the people here. So the chief judge Joel, judge number 1, 2, 3. So these 4 people are assigned in for the judges briefing room. And if they want to start the judging, then I come here and I click open the rooms. All the 4 people will get an alert on their devices to say the host has opened the rooms, please join the judges briefing room. So let's do that. Now I can see that 3 people are unassigned, maybe they are the audience, and 4 people are assigned to the judges briefing room. But as of now, none have entered this virtual room. Now this is an example of one of the judge. It's actually on my mobile here. So he will get a message which says the host is inviting you to join breakout rooms, judges briefing room. All I have to do is click on the join button and you will see within a short period this person is now in the briefing room. And if you see the main hall, the person J01 or JH01 is no longer there. As they join the briefing room, as a moderator, I can monitor who is in the briefing room and who's not. Now let's say Sean is a international speech contestant and I want to move him into the international briefing room. So simply I can click on the name Sean, click on assign to and choose international briefing room, and in this case Sean will get an alert to join the international briefing room. As a host, I have the rights to go to any of these rooms to see what's happening. I can see that Sean has not yet joined the briefing room. Now let's suppose I want to know what's happening in the international briefing room. I can simply click on this button and it will take me to the virtual room that I have created. I click yes. Now I can see that I'm alone in this briefing room. If I click on the Manage Participants, there is nobody else. When I'm in a breakout room, I can again click on the breakout room button and again monitor what's happening in the other rooms. Suppose I want to visit the judge's briefing room. I just click on the join button and it will take me to the next breakout room. Whenever I want to return to the main hall, I click on the leave breakout room option and it will ask me two things. Do you want to leave the meeting or do you want to return to the main session? And I'll click return to the main session. Now we are in the main session. When I click on the breakout room, I can see that the judges and the chief judge are still there. There are two ways that I can close the breakout rooms. One is to forcefully close all the rooms, which will force all the participants to return to the main session, or each person leaves the breakout room just like how I had left by clicking on the leave breakout button option. For this exercise, let me close all the rooms. It will take 1 minute for all the participants to leave their rooms and return to the main session. When the room is closed, all participants get a message on their screen which says breakout room will close in X number of seconds, and now everyone will be brought back to the main session, as you can see here. All 8 participants are now in the main room. Once the rooms are closed, one thing I like to do is I like to go to the room assignment, and for example the judge's briefing is over, I like to remove them from that room so that they don't get an opportunity to go back to that room unless the moderator assigns them to that room again. Similarly, for the contestants, I will remove them from the briefing room, and now the rooms are again empty. When it is time to start the table topics or evaluation contest, I like to create an isolation room and transfer the contestants to that room. Of course, for table topics, I will move only contestant number 2, 3, 4 onwards, because the contestant number 1 will stay in the main hall. But when it comes to evaluation, I have to make sure that I transfer all the contestants to the isolation room for their 5 minutes of evaluation, along with a timer and a sergeant at arms to monitor the isolation room. And that's all there is to it when it comes to breakout rooms. It's really very simple once you get a handle on it. The important thing, in my opinion, is to make sure that your judges and your contestants name themselves correctly so you can quickly assign them to the right rooms when it is time to do so. I hope you found this video informative, and I wish you all the best for your next online Toastmaster speech contest.